You have to listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. You changed. You went through this enormous change.
Welcome to Women Thrive Season 5. This season, you can expect incredible conversations with women from all around the world. We at Women Thrive, not only do we put on incredible conversations with women, host events, retreats, publish a magazine, publish books, and we have created a platform for every woman to shine and share her message. So you right now tapping into a podcast that is globally recognized as the place for women to be and share their message. Be inspired, be part of the conversation, and let's thrive together.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Women Thrive podcast. My name is Abigail Rebecca. Welcome to today's podcast. One of the things that we're going to focus on today is that we as women go through many transformations and iterations in our life. I'm sure that you can look back at your life wherever you are, whatever age you are. Maybe you remember when you were a teenager and going through all of that transformation from a girl into a woman, in your 20s trying to find your path and find your road. Maybe in the 30s, maybe having children, starting a family, building your career. In your 30s and 40s, and then as we get to that age, of course, we go through menopause and beyond. We are designed to reinvent ourselves, but very often it can be a scary thing. Transformation, change can be really scary. Maybe you're at that stage of life where you yourself are going through menopause and it's not sitting well with you. You don't feel comfortable around it. You don't feel disempowered. Maybe you feel the best days of your life are over. Well, we are going to have a conversation with you today to let you know that actually this is just the beginning. We're going to be having that conversation today about how this stage in your life in the menopause can really empower us as women, because it really is an era that we can step into our confidence and our power. And our guest today is going to be speaking to us about that. So with further ado, I would love to introduce you to Marielle Speetjens. She is a midlife reinvention and confidence coach and the founder of Mind Breeze by M. Say yes to life again. She helps women in midlife rebuild confidence, realign with what matters, and design a next chapter they're excited to say yes to. Through her 5D method, so that's courage, confidence, clarity, commitment, and celebration, she pairs straight talking coaching with practical habits and micro promises that last. With her clients, she surfaces patterns, rewires limiting stories, builds daily confidence rituals, aligns the path ahead, and tracks and celebrates what matters. Marielle, it's wonderful to have you here today on our podcast. I'm very excited to speak about this.
Hi, Abigail. I am very excited to be here with you.
I really love what you talk about, what you teach, how you help your clients. As we're recording this, I'm 51. I think I'm probably through the other stage of menopause. I think it's very highly unlikely that I'll have another period. So I'm like saying that I'm over the finish line, even though I am still having a few hot sweats and flushes. But I really resonate with what you're speaking about, because I really feel that I'm in a part of my life that I'm really celebrating all the abundance and really tapping into my wisdom. So I am really excited to hear what you have to speak about today. Marielle, why are you so passionate about what you do? What's your story? Why do you do what you do today with your work?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy what you just said, because I think, and I didn't always think that, I had my doubts a few years ago, but I think the best chapter is yet to come. So that's exactly what you feel already, and that's just great to hear. Now, why I am so passionate about this is I've been to many transitions, and I had many identity shifts. From, like you said before in the introduction, it starts when you're in puberty. You don't really realize it then that this is what is happening. You feel the change and the weird, but being older, being now, I'm 56, I clearly realize where all the transitions were. And like you said also in the intro, change is hard sometimes, especially if you're not totally aware of it or totally conscious about it. So in my early 30s, I decided to follow my passion and change my career. And from a consultant, I became a trained coach. And I loved that. That was kind of my purpose, because I realized that I don't really want to work with projects. I want to work with people, and I want to go deep with people. I want to figure out the meaning of life and what's our purpose on this planet and all these kind of things. So while I was doing that, I actually founded Mindbreeze in my early 30s. Then I met my husband and we had children, and we were very, very lucky because we had twins, a boy and a girl. And oh my God, I was so proud because I was older. I was already like 35 when I had my first children. And that was amazing, right? You have two in one go. But the story didn't stay that glamorous. Our little girl, we had a boy and a girl, and our little girl, she wasn't growing really well. And in the end, very, very quickly, we lost her. And that was an identity shift. Even being a mother of twins is different than being a mother of one child. That was different. Becoming a mother was an identity shift, and then that was an identity shift. And I was not able to go back to work in the crisis that I was in after that. It took me quite a few years to get back to me again. And I decided to focus my everything on my family, dedicated everything to my family and my kids, my husband. So we moved countries, another transition, and I started homeschooling my children to keep our freedom, because that became probably our priority number one. And later on, fast forward, we moved to another country, and that was again an identity shift, because I was like, okay, not homeschooling anymore, not living on a boat anymore. We lived on a boat before, now we live in a house. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life? So I figured it out. I trained for some Ironmans, but my love for the coaching was always there. It was always there. And then COVID came. And when COVID came, that was my peak of menopause. And I started thinking, what? I felt horrible, terrible. I didn't sleep, but I didn't go to the doctor because it was COVID. So there was this period where I was trying to figure it all out. And after COVID, the emptiness started. And that was when I thought, okay, now I need to find new purpose. I need to do something. And whatever I tried to do and wherever I tried to go and figure it out, I always came back to the coaching. And in the meantime, I've been learning about women. I've been dealing with women. I've been coaching women now. I've been going through so many transitions that I thought, okay, I need to share this. I need to share my experience in life and focus on these women now, on the niche where I'm in the middle of it. So long story, but that's the history of why I'm here now. And I'm so excited to help women at this age, in this chapter, to find a new direction.
Marielle, I've heard your story before and it still moves me deeply. Just as one human being to another, as one woman to another, I can't even imagine what that must have been like for you. And again, I just want to thank you for being so vulnerable, sharing your story, and also incredibly inspirational, because the fact that you've been able to alchemize that pain and that experience into something really inspirational and really significant, and rekindling your love for coaching. I love that did that, because there's just such a wonderful energy about you. And I can imagine that the clients that work with you, like, you really hold a wonderful space for them. So I just wanted to honor that. I just wanted to honor your story and the fact that you share it in such a delicate but beautiful way. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I wanted to find out more about your thought leadership and experiences really working with clients, especially around midlife women. And obviously, we've spoken about menopause. Why do you think that so many women feel so disempowered? Why do you feel that we feel like this as we're going through this stage of our lives?
I think, and this is also has been my experience, there's a point in time where there's so many changes going on. Shifting identities is one thing, but in menopause, it's not just your identity, it's your body, it's your mind. There's all these things are going on. And I think a lot of women, also in my case, when the kids are flying out, they feel like, I'm so stuck. I'm stuck. What am I supposed to do? And I actually found out that I'm not stuck. Not stuck. You're just holding on to a chapter that's in the past. And that is holding you back from moving forward. I think that is a crucial thing when you realize that, okay, I might not feel 100%, right? But I have to accept it. I'm going through a very important change. I'm transitioning into a new chapter. And this is a natural thing to happen, right? Instead of fighting it, I think accepting it is important. And you might get help from a doctor. Everybody has their own path. You might go to a doctor and ask for hormones or for some treatments, or go do the natural way. That's fine. But you're not stuck. You're not. You're holding on. I was holding on for a while for my having lost a child. Having my kids flying out was very, very hard. I was holding on to that, and it's making myself miserable.
Do you feel that a lot of women, especially as mothers, can often put their own needs on the back burner a little bit and really focus on their children so much that that becomes the purpose and the role in life, and then
Abigail,
it suddenly goes and it's like, what?
not only mothers, I think women do that. I think most women put other people first. And as mothers, definitely, it's if your children are happy, you are happy, at least within a certain frame, right? Can't spoil them too much. But yes, true. Your kids are the center of your universe. And even in the relationship with your husband, right? That's also a different chapter. You go through menopause and the relationship with your husband is also different. Kids flying out, you spend more time together, you have to reinvent how to spend the time together, what to talk about. It's not just all about the kids anymore. It's not just the hectic situation is gone. And that requires some time, and it requires some thought to get used to and to reorganize things.
When you are speaking to women that are going through this, that are feeling this, in the conversations that you have with them, what would you say are the things that are really showing up for women at that stage of life? Obviously, you've spoken about the different transitions, and if that woman is a mother, then children leaving home and all of that. But in terms of her and how she's feeling, what do you find is quite common amongst women?
I think apart from the feeling of being stuck, I think there's a lot of limiting beliefs that hold women back. And especially at an age where you feel insecure because your body is changing. You feel insecure because, your brain is functioning in a different way. Maybe because you have dedicated your life to your family, you haven't been working, you haven't been part of the workforce for a long time. It takes a lot of courage to take that first step and make that change, because it's so easy to keep yourself busy in the daily life, right? There's always something to do. And people will say, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time to work out. I'm so busy, I don't have time to. It's more like, instead of admitting that they're drifting, that they don't have a goal, that they don't have purpose, that they're struggling with even with admitting it, because it's not easy to admit that you really don't know what the next step will be.
Speaking from my own personal experience, for me, it was definitely like radical acceptance. Like you were talking about, like very often, like we're holding on to youth, we're holding on to fertility, like we're holding on to all the things like the sexiness or what we represent as that, right? As the youth. And for me personally, it was around really accepting that yes, my body was changing, my brain was changing, like I was going through a huge change, but actually not to hold on and to go with it and to go with the flow. And one of the things that I was so grateful for was all of the personal development that I'd been doing, like in my business, right, over the years. Like I was so grateful for it. I didn't realize I'd actually been in training for the menopause, and I was able to really overcome a lot of challenges by applying a lot of things, like just the way that I saw things and my mindset, and looking at things and going, okay, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to grow. This is like an incredible stage in my life. I need to embrace it and love it and value it and honor it and talk about it. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm really excited about the next part. Like, what's my body going to look like now? Like, how am I going to show up in society and all of these things? So I'm so grateful for that. And I know that that's one of the things, the many things that you help your clients with. So what would you say is some really great, I don't know, like, how'd you get through it? I know that this is a really big question, but for you and your experience and the clients that you work with, if there's somebody that is watching this and going, yes, I'm in it now. Like, how are you able to navigate that choppy water?
Well, you said it so beautifully, and I'm happy that you say it. I think a big part of it is acceptance. Accept it, don't fight it. And then make the best of it. Spoil yourself, take good care of yourself. And figure out, and this is where I so relate to this self-development. You have to listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. You changed. You went through this enormous change. What you were eating before probably doesn't suit you anymore. You have to figure it out. It will take some time, but it's actually very, very exciting to figure that out and suddenly feel, hey, if I eat that instead of that in the morning, or if I take a supplement, or I up my protein, I actually feel much better. It is actually known that women after menopause, that they get way more energy. And you can help that with a good diet. I'm a super fan of movement, and I think movement is important and it's different for everybody. So even walking, or I swim a lot. I go to the gym just for muscle maintenance, which is very important to stay strong also, because muscle mass is slowly, actually quickly going down when you get older. So I love that. That's not a punishment for me. But if you're not a sporty, walk, bike, move something. And when you do that, it helps, of course, it helps your brain to become clearer and to also get more confidence. If you keep showing up, even if you don't feel like it, if you say, okay, I'll walk every morning 20 minutes, every time you show up, it will increase your confidence. And all these things help you, and your head will become clearer, and the direction you want to go becomes clearer, and you will be able to, I think, step by step, listen to your heart, listen to your inner voice, whatever you may call it, and let the universe do its work and guide you in the direction where you are supposed to go.
I love
That's
that.
how I've experienced it. And that's what I see also in the women that I coach. It's not always easy, because you also kind of have to believe in these things, right? If you're very rational, or if you've come from a corporate environment, these things, you need to challenge it, right? To start thinking with your heart and leave your head a little bit out of it, right? To get in that direction where you actually are supposed to go, and not because your head tells you to.
Yeah. I love that, Marielle. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm a big fan of hot girl walks. Good 20 minutes, get a nice podcast on or an audio book and go for a walk. I live by the sea. So it's incredible, not just to be able to move your body, but also to clear your head, get some strategic thinking. That's like my strategic thinking time within my business when I go on those walks.
I have one more thing to add to that, because what I also see is that most women have been multitasking for years and years and years, and they do not celebrate. What they do is at the end of the day, they look at the to-do list or whatever it is they have, and they see the two things that they didn't finish, and they feel bad about it. Instead of thinking, what is the most important thing I need to do today? If I do that, everything else is a bonus, right? That makes you feel so much better. And how important are all these little things that we tell ourselves that we have to do every day? Not so important, usually. So I see that in so many women when they tell me that they did something or they followed up on something, and I'm like, yeah, you have to celebrate it. And they're like, oh, I forgot. You have to really teach them. Keep telling, yeah, and keep doing it, because it changes the way you feel about everything you do.
It's like a muscle, isn't it? To fine tune. It's like, how
Mhm.
that's fantastic. How are you going to celebrate? How are you going to celebrate? Even the little things. And what I love about that, those celebrations, is that it marks, it's like puts a little pin mark in your journey, in your map. So when you look back over your life, I always look at my achievements, but I'm able to pinpoint my achievements by the celebration that I had.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's when we went to dinner for so and so, or that's when we booked on this vacation, or that's when I treated myself to a spa, like these memories. So what that does for me, speaking as a businesswoman, is that is able then to give me more confidence that I can create success. I've created success in the past, and I'm going to create success in the future. And the way that I can remember that success is by the celebrations. So it's such an important tool for anybody, not just people in business, anyone, because it really helps to build that confidence, doesn't it?
And it can be very small. It can be play your favorite song loud and dance in the kitchen, right? It doesn't have to be buy a big cake or have great. It doesn't. It just consciously celebrating that you did something good. Yeah.
Just the final thing that I wanted for you to share with us, I know that you speak a lot. When I introduced you in the beginning there was a lot of yeses.
Yes.
Which is always good to hear. And I know that you talk about like the power of yes and saying yes to things and seeking out those opportunities and saying yes to the opportunities that light you up. And I know that you role model that in your life as well, which is fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I reached this point. I have a very active husband who likes to go places, travel a lot, and is very spontaneous and last minute. So, so I realized that suddenly I was like, no, rather stay home, be in the garden, work in the garden. We have a dog, 3 cats. I'm happy. And then I'm like, this was 54, 55, too young, right? So I promised myself, just myself, I'm going to say yes. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to say yes to invitations, to parties, to last minute things. I'm going to say yes. And after a little while, I realized telling just me isn't going to do it. I need to tell my circle. So I told my husband, my children, my parents, my sister, my closest friends. And they were all like, whoa, this is amazing. Okay. But the energy changed completely. completely. By doing just that, saying yes, I can't begin to tell you how much everything changed. The whole energy, the whole things started coming to me. Like Women Thrive, I feel like came to me after doing that. So it's something that I want to share. I want to make people feel that it's sometimes very easy by making a decision, and whatever that is, making a decision, even if you're afraid, take that decision anyway and show up. What can happen? Usually not much will happen, right? If it doesn't go wrong, you change it. And for me, this was a big change. And also, I'm not saying you need to say yes to everything, because a lot of women do say yes to too many things. I think you have to, again, listen and connect with your inner self. And sometimes you have to say no. When something drains you, you say no. But that no, you can turn it around, is a big yes to yourself. So that's when I see it. When I say a no, it's not because, oh, I don't feel like it. No, no, no. I will say a no when I know that it drains me and it gives me negative energy. Oh, well, I won't do it.
Well, we're very, very excited that you've said yes to Women Thrive. So, as we're recording this, we are leading up in a few months' time to the Women Thrive Summit 2026, which is so exciting. It's our 6th summit, and we are just absolutely delighted that you're one of our speakers, that you're part of the community, that you're bringing your wonderful energy to the whole of this, and something to say yes to and to celebrate with. So what are you most looking forward to? What have you most enjoyed about the experience so far with Women Thrive, Marielle?
I love the journey. I love the journey. I trust the process. I'm enjoying meeting all these wonderful women. I'm enjoying working with you and Raimonda. I think you're wonderful coaches and experienced in being authentically to the max, I think, in what you do and how you help us to reach a higher level and encourage each other. It's just a really, really nice process. And I think from what everybody's saying, the summit is the cherry on the cake. So I look forward to that. But right now, every week, every month, I enjoy learning, growing, getting better, learning from each other, and having this community, which is a very important thing as well. And this is also from women when they're a little bit older. There's no competition. There's just encouragement, support. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's so important to be in communities like that. And like you said, about the celebration, that you're around people that are able to celebrate your wins and be excited about the transformation and hold space for you. And it's just so wonderful having you in our community, coming onto the calls and seeing you build relationships with the other women and having fun and saying yes to things and saying no to some things, but saying yes mostly to things. It's just wonderful to have you. So thank you so much, Marielle, for coming on and sharing your story and sharing your zone of genius, your expertise, and the way that you help women. We need more feeling empowered menopausal women. I feel like there's this beautiful gift that's given to us during menopause, where we do really step into a very powerful phase of leadership. And we need women like you to be able to lead us through that transformation. So thank you so much, Marielle, for being a wonderful part of the community. And I'd love for you to share our audience. Where can they find you? Where do you hang out on social media, website, etc.?
Social media, I'm on Facebook, mainly also on Instagram and LinkedIn under my own name, Marielle Speetjens. And my website is mindbreeze.ae, where you can find more about me and the work I do.
Wonderful. We're going to put all the links below so you can find Marielle really easily. Please reach out to her, especially when you're at our time of life and you want to be fabulous and continue to be fabulous. Then Marielle is such an amazing person to follow, to be inspired by. And yeah, we just love having you as part of the community, Marielle. And thank you so much for coming on today.
It was a great pleasure, Abigail.
Thank you everyone for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to find out more about being able to navigate the different transitions and transformations in your life, if you're navigating menopause, which we've just spoken about, or maybe empty nesting, if you want to find a way to celebrate more and say yes to things in life, then please reach out to Marielle. Make sure that you follow her on socials, visit her website. And of course, you can always reach out to us as well. Here at Women Thrive, it's been an absolute pleasure to hang out with all of you today. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, and we will see you very soon on the next episode of the Women Thrive podcast.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Women Thrive Podcast. I'm so thankful for you as a listener for spending time with us, myself and my co-host Abigail, to hear our conversations with our guests. If you have had the opportunity to hear our podcast, do make sure you leave a review and share this episode with your audience as well. This has helped us reach the 5 top % globally ranked podcast, as well as reach more than 30,000 downloads to date. Your support means so much to us, and this is how we get to reach more people around the world. At Women Thrive Media, we're here to amplify voices of women and empower women to take the center stage and shine a spotlight on their messages.